Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Wednesday. That means it's time for our stock market midweek update. And what a day it's been here in the markets. We are sitting here on the highs with about 25 minutes to go. And we've had an incredible day here. Not the easiest of days, but an incredible day. Overnight, we were mostly flat. China retaliated. The market shrugged it off. And we kind of just chopped around in here throughout the day. And then here's when the news broke. And to kind of put this perspective, the news started on Monday with the idea floated of a possible 90%, 90-day tariff pause, but that was denied and everything. Fast forward to today, the first news we got this morning was Bessonnet was now put in charge of negotiations. That was a change up. And then, we had what was going on in the bond market with the 10-year yield going, insane and blowing up. And just before the 10-year auction was about to go off, Bessent had canceled a meeting with Republicans and was called for an emergency meeting in Trump's office. And the news broke, 90-day pause on tariffs, except for China. Now, everybody stays at 10%, but all the extra stuff goes away. So you had this huge candle. Now, the initial news was China was getting hit with more tariffs. And you see the initial drop here. And then for me, the reason I jumped on it was before I saw the 90 days, I saw the market was going up. Something was different. So you had this incredible rally on the market here from 500 area. Now we're all the way up here into the 542. Volume very high again today. We're currently at 183 million shares traded. And, I'm going to give you levels here that I'm trading for on the SPY. The next level is the 21 day. Then you have a gap up here. So let's just go in and zoom in. The high there is 547.97. Oh, look, that kind of matches up there with the 21 day. So you have that big gap sitting there. We filled the gap already from this morning. So that would be an area to keep our eyes on here as we move forward. Right. So that's a big spot right there. Fill that gap. And I think the 200 day is in play. I've traded aggressively today. I traded TQQ. I've traded everything long today. TQQQ, ES multiple times, had a massive trade on that candle, on that big move there on that. I've been adding long-term risk. I added more AMD. I added more NVDA. I added more Amazon. I added to my SPY and my Q calls. I'm in SPY April 540 calls, which are up big and already in the money. I'm staying close to the money because that's helping to offset the decay that's going on. And that's the one thing you have to realize. The VIX has just crashed, right? The VIX, which had been up, up, and up, look, it was all the way up, back up to the highs today, crashed down. Look at this move back into the 32 area. IV's coming down. The IV on those options, and the reason I'm in them has dropped from 80% is now down to 36%. So, that's part of what's going on here. You have to be closer to the money, but I'm in the April ones. The bond market remains screwed up. A nice little bounce here. The 10-year is what was driving everything. There's talk here that overnight that Japan was dumping bonds as a sign of their unhappiness, and that's why we had this huge spike in the 10-year yield. Crude remains very weak. Crude here up though, bouncing back above 62. The IWM with a nice move here. The Qs with a big move here, filled that first gap and already almost into this through the second gap and to the 21 day. Okay, big moves on a lot of stuff. The SMH has bounced back nicely. Look at this move to the 21 day. Your banks which start reporting on Friday morning, huge move back above the 200 day. Microsoft, big move here above the 21 day. Amazon, huge move up to the 21 day. Google, which came out and verified they will continue to do their CapEx spending almost to the 21 day. Meta clearing a whole metric ton of stuff here back above the 200 and the 21 day. Even Apple, which is still getting hammered because Apple's not going to get cleared from these tariffs, back to the 8 day. Um, NVIDIA, we talk NVIDIA, I don't remember here. Nice huge move on that one. AMD back up to 96. You guys get the idea. This was a general broad-based rally. This is great. Now, what we look for tomorrow is some follow through here. We see if we can go higher, and push up. I am not trying to say that this is over. And what I mean by that is we have a 90-day reprieve. There's going to be constant chatter. But that does not mean we're going to run back to the all-time high at 613.20. We have a huge bounce here. I think that 200-day area and the 50-day there make a lot of sense. We can get there quickly if this market wants to. But for now, I'm looking for a move to the 21-day, then a gap fill back up here into this 565 area, and we'll go from there. If you want to join us, I'll leave a link in the description below. We've had you know, given everything this week, it's been a great week. We trading on Sunday night. We traded Monday, yesterday, today. Earnings kicks in on Friday. We have CPI tomorrow morning. I'll open the room up early from that. Everybody have a great night. If you need to talk, please just reach out.